friends, my fellow Americans, it is with great and profound pride that I introduce to you my Congresswoman, my friend, our next Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Is this the best place to be, where the California delegation comes together? Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for your generous introduction, for pointing out the importance of electing a Democratic Congress in this next election. Thank you for your leadership in San Francisco. Thank you for being a champion on so many causes and for getting the job done. It's an honor for me to be here today, a special honor to be introduced by Mayor Ed Lee. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. How many people are here for the first time to a convention? Beautiful. Welcome to all of you. And thank you for receiving my gift of our LGBT sign of respect. I'm reminded, and I want to tell some of you who are new, that in 1982, many of you were not born yet, but in 1982, in our state convention, at our platform that we put forth over 30 years ago, we had that a family is what a family chooses to be with respect for the LGBT community. That was 1982. California has always led the way, and we still continue to make this fight. And progress is being made because California does lead the way. Aren't we proud of our chairman, John Burton, who decided not to come but gave his credentials to a dreamer so that a dreamer could be here today? Are we proud of Jerry Brown for being such a positive, progressive leader for change, especially speaking to this convention about climate change? Trump calls climate change a Chinese hoax. He is not unlike the Republicans in Congress who don't believe in science. There are many differences between Democrats and Republicans, but there's not a dime's worth of difference between Donald Trump and the Republicans in Congress. Whether you're talking about a woman's right to choose, whether you're talking about climate, whether you're talking about LGBT issues, whatever the subject happens to be. When you're talking about immigration, the constant reinvigoration of America. That's why we have to win the House. And that's why I have said all over the country that I'm grateful to our candidates for president for what they have done to turn out the vote to help us win the House. Certainly our candidate for president, Hillary Clinton, and also a candidate for president, Bernie Sanders. I have thanked Bernie for staying in the race in California because that enabled us to get many more Democrats in the top two, into the top two. That was essential. But I do believe that we will win the White House, we will win the Senate, we will win the House of Representatives, we will win the state houses across America and the state legislatures because of the vitality of both of the campaigns, Hillary Clinton and the campaign of Bernie Sanders. And speaking of winning the House, there are House members here. Stand up. Mark Tacanos, Ted Lieu, Mike Honda, Anna Eshoo, Lucille Roy-Ballard, Barbara Lee, so many members coming and going. We're very proud of our delegation, but we're also proud of the members that we have to re-elect. Thank all of you for your support of Pete Aguilar, Ami Berra, Julia Brownlee, Scott Peters, Raul Ruiz, and we are going to increase our numbers in the Congress by electing more Democrats to the Congress. We're going to have Brian Cafario, Salud Carbayal, Michael Eggman, Amelia Huerta, and Doug Applegate. Now that I've done some of the housekeeping and paying my respects, I just want to say what a thrill it is to be with the California delegation. Look at our ballot in November. Look what is on that ballot and take great pride. Criminal justice reform, California leading the way. Death penalty, repeal of the death penalty, California leading the way. Gun violence prevention, California again leading the way. Vote on Citizens United, California leading the way, and the list goes on. I say to my colleagues from around the country, listen to what we say in California, because while it may be new to you, pretty soon you will be saying it too. Pretty soon you'll be doing it too. And why is it important for us to win this election? Is because we have two different views of our future. Mayor Lee talked about the election being about the future, and indeed it is. We have two different views of respect for working people in our country. Democrats say we have to be strong. It's about security, secure in our military, but we have to be smart and strong, not reckless and rash. Secure in our economy, where we respect the workers of our country and not those who exploit them. In our economic agenda, we believe that when women succeed, America succeeds. And that's why we want to have equal pay for equal work and raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour and paid leave for paid family leave. Again, California leading the way, and affordable quality child care. But all of this would be easier if we could extract money from politics, the role of big money. And so our third security, secure our nation, protect our people, and by the way, very significantly, that includes significant gun violence prevention legislation. Thank you, John Lewis and the members of Congress, for our sit-in that continues across the country. We say, if you can't fly, you can't buy a gun. We say we must expand background checks. So that's all part of our security piece. But on the secure our democracy piece, not far from here, our founding fathers, they sacrificed their lives, their liberty, their sacred honor for a democracy, a government of the many, not a government of the money. And we have to honor their vision by supporting the overturn of Citizens United and empowering small donors in the Democratic Party. This is my 14th convention. I came to my first one when I was 12 years old with my parents. My father, Thomas D'Alessandro, was mayor of Baltimore. I went in '68 with my brother, Thomas D'Alessandro, who was mayor of Baltimore and Chicago. But let me say this. This is probably one of the most consequential conventions. Consequential because convention means convening, coming together. Coming together. And that is what we must do. Despite our differences, which I respect, despite our differences, the differences that we have are not so great compared to the chasm between us and the Republicans. The Republicans who want to privatize Social Security, take away the guarantee of Medicare, can you believe that? Block grant Medicaid to diminish it, destroy a woman's right to choose, Roe v. Wade, forget it. Have you heard the statements of their vice presidential candidate? Well, we hear it every day in the House of Representatives. So we have a great deal at stake in this election. And the sign of our commitment to the future will be how we weigh the equities and how we decide how we go forward. I hope that we can sow all of our oats in this California delegation, make your voices heard, your disappointment expressed, your challenge to the rules and the rest, which I think that has come out with a good compromise. I have to say, for 30 years I have been against superdelegates, so I'm not a fan of any of that. So I thank you for that. So I hope that at the convention that we will see, hey, have a good time, put up as many signs as you want. I don't consider it a discourtesy, even if it is intended as one. But what we want the American people to see is that we understand the difference between Democrats and Republicans. That we understand that a woman's right to choose, our seniors' retirement, our collective bargaining, and who has done more for raising the minimum wage and equal pay for equal work than our friends in organized labor. I thank you all for that. Many of you are here today. I say to my colleagues in Washington, this is about values. We talk about issues, we can talk about rules, and sometimes that can divide us. But it is our values that unite us. When they say, how do you keep the Democrats in the Congress so unified? I said, I don't. Our values unify us. And our values are about an America that has liberty and justice for all. When we are out there for the world to see in the coming together, the convening, the convention, let us hope that we all can respect each other's views, but understand that unity is our strength, and that we have to show a unified convention to the world. Our differences will not end there. They will continue, and that is the vitality. That is the vitality. Who would want to be in charge of a party that marched to one drum? We love our differences, but we know when to show our unity, and hopefully that will be this week when the convention comes to order. But are you ready for a great Democratic victory to elect Hillary Clinton and Timothy You're not ready for that victory? Are you ready to elect a Democratic